Well, this is attractive. Hello and welcome back to Tucking It Up. My name is Tuck and I like to play around with makeup. So today we are going to do kind of a get ready with me / tutorial / I guess look recreation. Specifically, we are going to do the Biba. Yeah, if you'd like to see how I'm going to recreate this, as well as like some of the tweaks that I'm going to be doing, so it suits kind of my desires, my goals a little bit more, please stay tuned. You might have heard the name Biba in connection with a palette that Natasha Denona released, but the name itself actually originates from a fashion brand / store from the 60s. It was based in London, and it was run by a Polish-born designer named Barbara Hulanicki, and so she started off with just a mail order business, but it proved so successful that from there it went to a boutique, and then from boutique it went into a multi-story department store. Sadly, the department store was quite short-lived, only about a year, but it was crazy. So apparently, like, each floor was themed. That you had a restaurant at the top floor, and then on the roof you had like a garden, sort of like a tea house sort of place. Apparently Anna Wintour once worked there as a sales girl. Anyway, I highly encourage you to check out the full history. I'll link to a blog post in the description. And then there's also a video from The Way We Wore, which is a great channel here on YouTube. So even though, this brand is from the 60s, it's quite sort of inspired by the 1920s, and you'll see that in its logo. I'll pop it up somewhere here, and you'll also see that. You can also see that in like the look, right? Like it's 60s, but it's also 20s, right? So I'm actually going to be wearing this look out today. My husband and I, for our anniversary, we're going to one of our favorite restaurants today, and then we're also going to be going to an art gallery because one of our friends he has a solo show going on. So it'll be nice to have basically a full day. It'll feel like the pre-pandemic days a little bit, except of course we'll be all wearing masks and social distancing and eating outdoors and all of that. But so it should be fun. So unlike the last time I did a look from Making Faces, I'm gonna try and follow the the steps a little bit more. This time we'll see. I'm going to combine the first 4 steps and just kind of do it in like a big mega clip. I speed up everything. So the first step is tweezing the brows. I've already actually done that. And bleaching them to a light golden blonde. And for foundation, I'm going to use Dim the Light from Buxom. Do I have it? Where is it? Here somewhere. In case you're interested, in case you're like, oh, I want to look at the very generic packaging. Crack about the packaging aside, I really do like this foundation. Then I'll just, he doesn't call for contour, bronzer, blah, 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 blah. But I'm gonna do that because I'm not Kate Moss. So I don't have her face and her, really amazing features. And I'll do that actually, of course, with my favorite face palette, which is the Kevyn Aucoin Contour Book Volume 3. I'm going to use the sculpting powders, light mainly, a little bit of medium, bronze, of course, with Venice. But for highlight today, I'm going to skip these. Instead, I will use Divine Glow Skin. Oh, God, I can never say the name. Oh dear. Okay, Skin Show Divine Glow. There we go. And it's this nice, peachy, slightly peachy, champagne-y shade over here. Okay, and then for lining the eyes, what am I going to use today? The Burnt Sienna shade from NYX, from their Faux Blacks line. So this is kind of a bit of a burgundy. So in the original instructions, it says to line with a black pencil, and then you create that beautiful shape with a black cream shadow. I tried the black cream shadow. It looks a little bit heavy on me. One of the major changes that I'm going to make is that I'm going to use kind of more of a dark brown instead. And so I think the burgundy color will look really nice. Okay, so that's the base and the lining done. As you can see, I haven't touched my brows because I'm still... I thought about it and I'm not entirely sure what direction I want to go with them yet. So what I'm going to do is I'll wait till the eyes and lips are done maybe, and then decide what I want to do with my brows. So with that said, let's zoom you in and we can start on the eyes. Okay, so for the eyes, let's see. The instructions are, black cream eyeshadow is applied in a circular motion around the eye. The emphasis is slightly downturned, blend well. Like I said, I've tried this with a black before. I'll just pop up a picture of when I did this a couple months ago. And then when I did it again yesterday, I just noticed that the black felt really too heavy on me. What instead I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shade Chestnut from Danessa Myricks and mix a little bit of another Colorfix shade, Blackout, right here. Come on, there we go. And use that as the base. Blend that out. These will mainly be on the lid because that's where I want the color to be most intense. To kind of set everything and blend it out, I'm going to use, oh dear, I can't do this. I'm going to use this Entrapment, which is the terracotta from Mothership 5, and also Disobedient, which is this darker brown here. To give me an idea of just the general shape and just to sketch it out, I'm going to take my Wayne Goss number 20, a small crease brush, and use it to just softly apply Entrapment, that terracotta color, and give me a rough idea of how big I want the eye to be. So looking at the picture, it's kind of an elliptical shape that goes like here, down, and then like that. Okay, let's move on to the Colorfix application then. Like I said, I'm going to mix a little bit of Chestnut and Blackout. You don't need very much, and I always like to work in smaller amounts because this product does set a little bit quickly. Okay, so that's the general shape down. Yeah, so you can see it, I brought the color, it's not very strong, right? But it will intensify it later. I brought it down slightly on both sides, and then here, again, because it's an elliptical shape, I brought it up here so you can see more of it compared to at sort of the other half of my eye, right? So I'd like the color to be a bit more intense in the inner half, and so I'm just gonna apply a light layer of just Chestnut this time. Yeah, okay, so I'm quite happy with that. Oh God, I love this Chestnut shade, I have to say. So there's another video, I'll put it up here, which I did around New Year's, where I tried to use Blackout, Tribe, which is a dark purple shade by itself. And when I tried using Tribe by itself, also, I have very similar issues, which is, I don't know, the very dark colors I find very hard to blend out. I'm not very practiced at them. But Chestnut, it just works like a dream, it's so pretty, and it adds a nice warmth and a nice depth to my eyes. It's easy to control, it never looks patchy. So yeah, very excited for Danessa Myricks to be available in Sephora, so it's going to be a little bit easier for me to go pick up products to try. To intensify the base color that we put down, I'm going to start by going in with Extreme Aubergine, this darkened, blackened sort of eggplant, and that's mainly going to be, I think, closer to the lash line. Next, I'm going to go in with Disobedient, that dark brown. I'm going to go back in with the Wayne Goss number 20, and it's at this point that I'm going to start bringing that color up so that you can see it even when my eyes are completely open. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a pencil brush, but one that's slightly bigger than the one I used to apply Extreme Aubergine, because I want to control how much shadow is on the outer edges of the circle. And now back to my small crease brush. I'm going to take Entrapment, the terracotta shade, mix it with a little bit of Disobedient, and apply that to the edges of the shape. Try and blend it out a little bit more with just a synthetic blending brush. I think I'm pretty happy with the shape overall. Where's my mirror? I can never keep everything. Yeah, oh, there it is. Yeah, so I'm going to start refining. Yeah, I do like this color combination. I want to add a bit more warmth to this look. You know, I really like that terracotta shade from Mothership 5, so I'm going to use that and just build it up a bit more. I'm also going to go back in with some Disobedient, that dark brown shade. So I'd like this. Let me use a brush instead. So I'd like this part to come down a little bit more, like at a more, I guess, severe angle. Right now it's looking a little, especially here, right? You can see it's migrated onto my brow bone a little too much for my liking. Let's go in with a bit of foundation just to refine the edges. I'm not trying to cover anything exactly. It's more about blending the edges and you know, reining it back in. So you know, even though this, I guess the color is a little bit on the darker side, smoky, it doesn't feel heavy, right, my eye. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to apply the ash color from the Brow Engineer. I think because that is cool tone, it would just throw off the whole look too much. So I'm just going to fill in with a kohl pencil as usual. And I'm also going to apply a bit of Disobedient, which is that dark brown. Alright, so what step are we on at this point? Well, we've done 1 through 8, basically, which is, well, I skipped 7, which is apply black mascara to top and bottom lashes. I don't do mascara. And I did emphasize my eyelashes a little bit by setting the eyeliner with some extreme aubergine. Done blush, which is step 8, so 9. Last, dark toned lip pencil is used to line the lips. Then darkest plum, almost black lip color is applied over the pencil, blotted, and reapplied. Alright. So since my eye is not, you know, so dark, I'm not going to go with sort of that dark plum color like he says. Instead, I'm going to go back with Chestnut on my lips. First, I'm going to line with this brown pencil from Sephora, and then after that, once I've filled in the lip somewhat with that pencil, then I'm just going to use a lip brush, apply Colorfix, Chestnut Colorfix all over that, and finally, I will be using a lip gloss. Even though, of course, I'm wearing a mask, I guess I'm a sucker for punishment, I'm going to be using Flesh 4 from Pat McGrath. And because I couldn't help myself, I went in with a little bit of Astral Luna Gold as a bit more of a highlight. Okay, I think this is the final look then. So let me give you a quick overview. And so we come to the end of another look. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, I'm glad I went with this brown color, this chestnut brown, instead of black. Also really happy with how the lips turned out. I'm becoming more and more, maybe like, now that I'm very influenced by Danessa Myricks, I'm becoming more and more of like a monochromatic kind of person. Or, you know, at least reusing the same shades in multiple places to create more of a cohesive feel to the look. Yeah, I used to think that was boring, but I do think actually it does make it gives everything like a bit of an elegance, a bit of a sophistication, a bit more of a sort of finished feel than and it, you know, makes achieving all of that a little bit easier than if you used a lot of different shades, a lot of different colors. And until next time, bye!